Hey guys, Richard here with eBike Reviews and Adventures. We've got Amanda behind the camera today, and today I want to introduce you to eTRIKE. Now here's the backstory about eTRIKE. Some of you have already heard this, so bear with me, but there's a lot of new folks on the channel, and well, I need to tell you what eTRIKE is all about. So my buddy Gary at Gary's eBike Adventures up in, where's he at? New Hampshire? I think he said New Hampshire. He contacted me and said, hey Richard, you know, my sister lives near you, and she bought this trike on Amazon, and then she realized she didn't want it, so she canceled the order. They refunded her money, but they sent her the trike anyway. But then they said they didn't want the trike back, which is kind of strange, right? An expensive trike, you think they would want it back so they could sell it to somebody else. And they said, no thanks, we don't want it back. So she was able to keep the trike. Only problem is, the trike is in all these pieces. Now that's probably why the company didn't want it back, right? Because they don't want to deal with this mess. But you know, Janice, she didn't want to deal with this mess either. So yeah, Gary introduced her to me, and Amanda and I went down there and talked to her. We looked at the trike, and she just wanted it gone off her property. She was tired of messing with it, so we were happy to remove it for her. And now we have it. Now, the original plan was for us to maybe try to assemble this trike. And the more I look at it, the more I'm thinking, I don't know that I want to, right? I don't have the patience, I don't have the time, I don't have the mechanical background knowledge to maybe put this thing together. So I think my buddy Ron, which you've seen on this channel many times before, who lives here in the neighborhood, I think he's going to tackle it. He said he would give it a shot and see if he could put it together. So that's where we're headed with this trike. But zoom on in here. Let's take a closer look at this trike, and I'm going to show you some of these pieces. Over here we have the chassis, what I call the chassis. This is the rear axle. It is a differential rear axle, and we do have a single mechanical disc brake right back here. And yeah, interesting. Yeah, this is designed so you take this big basket here and mount it right on top. Of course, the wheels, rear wheels, just slip on over the axle here, and you tighten those down, so not too bad. But then you have to take this back part, and then you have to attach it. Let me jump over here to the main part of the frame, which is this guy right here. So again, not too crazy, but yeah, just something you got to do. This is probably for the brakes. We do have a battery slide or a battery mount right here to slip the battery inside here. But look, that's even bent right there, so that's damaged a little bit. Looks like we have a small front crank. Not sure what size that is, but it looks pretty darn small. Looking at the rest of the frame here, it's a tubular style frame. The wiring does run inside the frame, and so a lot of the wiring is already in place. Going down here to the controller, which is right back here. So that's already in place for us, which is pretty good. We are missing the forks, and the forks have, yes, they've got the bearings and stuff just kind of flopping around here. I don't know if they're all there. I hope it's there. So we've got to add the forks to the head tube here, get all that tightened down. Of course, here's the handlebars. Now let me show you something about these handlebars. This is kind of interesting for being just a cheapy kind of trike. It's got this really cool ignition. Okay, so you got this ignition up here on the handlebar. Well, I thought that was kind of interesting. So that's just your throttle. But I guess that's your display right there, kind of tell you how fast you're going. Kind of interesting there. Haven't seen anything quite like that before. We do have a horn and what looks like a light button up here, which I don't remember seeing a light. So yeah, anyway, kind of interesting right there, right? We've got 3 tires over here. Let's jump to those. Now these tires are not inflated, so we're going to have to get those inflated. I don't know if those are tubed tires, tubeless. No, there's a tube in there. So 3 tires there, no brand name. No brand name on those at all, but again, just kind of in bad shape. Here's a seat post, pretty basic seat post. This looks like one that does tilt, so that's kind of cool. So you can get the battery in and out once you get this thing installed. The seat, really basic seat, but it does have a backrest. So I like the fact that it has a backrest. Just kind of small, pretty firm. We have a chain over here that is not put together, I don't believe. Maybe it is. I'm not sure how it would be. put together, both ends. Maybe it is. Looks like it might be. Yeah. Yeah, so it looks like the chain is assembled. I received the bike once before where I had to actually connect the two ends after it was installed. So I'm not sure how that's going to go on, but hopefully Ron can figure it out. We got other parts over here. Here's the battery. And there's nothing on the battery that tells me how big it is. So I don't know anything about this battery. Don't know what the size is. It's got the keys attached to it. It's got the switch right here. But yeah, probably not very safe either is what I'm guessing. It's probably the cheapest one that they could find. So don't know anything about that. I should tell you right here too that we don't have an instruction manual or anything on this trike. We don't even have a brand name on this trike, even though there's a name written on the frame. That was just a silly name they put on there. It has nothing to do with the company name or anything. We have fenders here. A couple of the fenders were damaged a little bit, but we do have fenders. So in all, you know, not a... well, let me just say this. It could be a lot worse, right? It could be worse. You know, we could be having to do all the wiring and stuff and connecting the components onto the handlebars. So there's a couple of things that could still be worse, but still not how you would expect to receive a bike when you purchase it. So what I wanted to share with you is you got to be careful with making your purchase on places like Amazon and even eBay. Because a lot of these companies, you know, they're overseas, and seriously, it just looks like they went through the warehouse and grabbed a bunch of parts and shipped them to you. And that's unfortunate. I did find this bike on Amazon. It's being sold under 2 different names. And, you know, they're running right at $1,100. And for $1,100, you should get a complete trike. Not something you have to put together. Because for $14.99, you can have something like the eTRIKE XP over here. For a couple $100 more, much better quality, already assembled, ready to go. So just be careful what you get when you're ordering off of Amazon. So when I found this trike on Amazon, I will tell you this, you know, the brand name was some letters, something I couldn't even pronounce, and it was listed a couple of different times on Amazon, and it had a 1-star review. And a couple of comments that were made about this is that people were disappointed that they received a box of parts. They ordered it thinking they were going to get an assembled trike, and then they get something like this here. And then there was a couple of comments where people said they attempted to put it together, but that it appeared that they were missing parts. And when they tried contacting the seller to try to get it resolved, there was just no communication at all. And so, yeah, unfortunately, Amazon allows these types of Chinese sellers to just sell garbage out there like this, and that's what this is. It's pretty much garbage. Thankfully, Janice was able to get a refund, and you know, she got her money back. So she went out and bought an eTRIKE XP trike, and she's very happy with that. So I'm happy for Janice. And I thank Janice for giving this to us because it allows us to make this video and kind of share this experience with you. Now, Amanda and I are going to get this packed up, take it down to my buddy Ron, kind of dump it in his lab and say, here you go, Ron, and see if he's able to get this together. He's good with mechanics. I think he'll be able to get this together in no time. And then we'll see what kind of bike it is, right? We'll see if there's anything to it that makes it worth the time, effort of putting it together. I suspect it's not. Based on what I'm seeing here, it's pretty poor quality. So I'm not holding out that this is going to be worth much, even after it's assembled. So hey guys, that's it for this video. I just want to share this experience with you. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. If you have questions about Franken-Trike here, go ahead and drop them down below, and I will be happy to try to answer those for you. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe because we have all kinds of content. We have content for everyone, even something for you. So make sure you smash that like button. That's going to be it. Until the next video, you guys ride safe.